gracing us with her presence, Miss Habiba Kahinde. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you. Thanks. Really nice to see you guys again.
So without much ado, I want to welcome Camilla Nontra.
Yay!
Oh my goodness. I should come to you every day when I'm feeling when I need
Correct. This is Sudan.
Wow.
Sudan. Believe it or not, Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt.
Interesting.
Begin to think in a Pan-African way, because they now see that their conditions are not just about that local space, but the condition is linked to all of the other.
Hello. Welcome to the Pan-Africana Show. My name is Fred Nontra. Good afternoon if you live in the US. Good evening to you if you live in the GMT time zone. Live in Ghana. Good evening to you. Again, this is the Pan-Africana Show. We start by thanking God. By Him we live, we move, and have our being. And I hope everyone is doing well. How you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing well, man. So it's been another busy week. First week for a lot of us back to work, kids going back to school, trying to cope with, COVID and COVID Delta and people who believe wearing masks is oppression.
I mean it's been up and down, and I hope for the best. I hope everyone stays healthy. Drink your vitamin C, drink your zinc and your vitamin D, help fight off COVID. And from what the numbers say, it looks like when you have your vaccine, you are better suited to fight it. Your body's better suited to fight it. So by all means, stay healthy, eat healthy. Of course, you can have your delicacies once a week, twice a week. Try to eat healthy. Have your orange juice and lemon tea and all that stuff. That would be that's good for you.
And at the very least, please wear a mask, because this stuff gets communicated so quickly. It's hard enough for people who have kids who are entering the school system but who are not old enough for vaccination. We've got stories coming out of North Carolina with teachers who are like, I'm not going to wear a mask, but you going to teach people's kids? Like, that's not going to happen. So
exactly. I don't want my teacher my kid being taught by a teacher like that.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Wow. Well, today we have a special show. All our shows are special. When we have guests, it's special. When it's just me and Jesse discussing the current events that are going on, it's also special. But I want to start off with something pretty cool. This week, there was a race, and they call it Diamond League in Prefontaine and or somewhere else. But all the top sprinters got together to race, and two of top 4 or 5 sprinters in the world took a picture, and we thought it was beautiful. And that's what we are about here. So give me a second while I share my screen. Okay. Jesse, you see my screen?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so to the left is Shelly-Ann Fraser, and to the right is Marie-Josée Talu. Now, Shelly-Ann Fraser, as most of you know, has been the reigning 100-meter champion the last 3 Olympics. And she was second in this Olympics, and she just ran her personal best this week. And the lady running against her is Shelly-Ann Fraser is from Jamaica, and the lady running by her is Marie-Josée Talu. She's from the Ivory Coast, and they've battled against each other so many times, and they've become like sisters. If you see down here, you see Marie Talu kissing Shelly-Ann Fraser's child, and you need to see them hugging and all, taking pictures. Last year or 2 years ago, they raced at the World Championship, and Shelly-Ann Fraser was first and Marie Talu was second. So they got a gold and silver, and they're displaying it over here. And we thought that was a beautiful thing and wanted to share that with you.
Absolutely. That's what we're all about. Yeah.
So
And side note, if there happens to be anybody from the Ivory Coast who is watching, definitely find a way to get me one of those outfits, man. The outfits.
I love those outfits. I think they're some of the better outfits in all of the world. I know the orange. The orange is kind of, I don't know, there's something about that orange. I used to have an orange shirt. That was one of my favorite shirts. The orange is something shows it's bold and it brings out life. Yeah,
orange and green.
And then
I'm
another
a rattler, so orange and green is right up my alley. Those are my colors. So.
Yeah, and then another one. Let me show another picture. Just shows the unity, because we're all about unity. Something happened this week that was a little disturbing. Okay, let's see. You see my screen, Jesse?
Yes, I love this picture. This is awesome.
So this was the quartet team. So Jamaica in the middle, they won the gold. The US on the left, they won the silver, and then the Great Britain, they won the bronze. And you see, this is the kind of unity we're talking about. They could come together and take a picture, and, sail like it's almost they glide in the airborne. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I feel like when I saw this, it immediately made me think of our show and what our ultimate objective is. Because what you see is these women are beautiful Black women, the fastest women on the planet, right? And they still recognize that even though we all originate under a certain flag or under a certain boundary, we're still, A, the best of the best to ever do it. And B, we're still all one family. So this picture really depicts building those bridges across the gaps. We do have cultural differences, and that's okay. Yes. But at the end of the day, we're all one family. We should all celebrate as one family. We all are doing amazing things in our own respective way, and we should love each other. And so I hope that picture gives you the same degree of motivation and inspiration as you take on another tough week, to understand that you are not alone in this, and that everything that you do, as long as you put your all into it, is going to work out right.
That's right. And I echo everything my partners said, and our differences should be celebrated and not divide us. And certain people do not. Who I'm talking, do not want us to be together. They hate it when we take pictures like this and celebrate it when there are Twitter wars going on about against each other, and to the not so. Okay, actually, let me go to the. Okay, maybe I'll go to the not so good news, and then we'll end it with a great story. So the not so good news was about Allyson Felix, probably the most decorated Olympian, U.S. Olympian of all time, or maybe the greatest Olympian of all time, because she has even more medals than Usain Bolt or Carl Lewis. Allyson Felix went on a show and was very gracious about Sha'Carri Richardson, but Sha'Carri Richardson didn't take it too well, and rather threw some shade at Allyson Felix. So, Jesse, your reaction?
So I'll say this. It's track and field, and I know that it's a competitive sport. I don't know what the relationship in the background is between the two runners, but at the same time, I feel like you said, Allyson Felix, she is beloved. Like, by Black America, she is the queen of track and field here. Allyson Felix in public, when asked the question about Sha'Carri Richardson, was very humble, very gracious, and ended her comment essentially praising Sha'Carri Richardson and saying, I hope that she is able to get the type of support that she needs to help her through, the hardships or whatever she's going through. And I feel like, this is a big deal because, of course, we had all galvanized behind Sha'Carri when we feel like she got screwed out of her opportunity to go to the Olympics over marijuana, which was not illegal in the state that she was doing it in. But, that whole thing. But what ended up happening was Sha'Carri Richardson ended up doing a social media response. And the social media response made it seem as if Allison Felix's attempt to be cordial and professional and supportive online was somehow not good enough. And again, I don't know the backstory, so I don't know if she felt like Allison Felix was being shady or whatever. But it's just difficult because we try, I know I tried desperately to support all Black people, let alone Black women at the top of their game trying to do their thing and represent our culture at the highest level. Even when all this stuff went down with Sha'Carri Richardson, first person there to defend her and all of that stuff. But at some point, you're like, help me help you, right? Help me help you. You're going to be shady towards Allison Felix, but you know what? I'm going to let that slide, right? We're going to try to support. And then I get on the internet last night and I see that she didn't tweet it, but she likes a tweet that sounded very white supremacist to me when it comes to like people's classification of the Jamaican people.
Yeah.
Tweet said something to the effect of, that's why you're walking barefoot to a coconut stand.
Yeah.
Really disrespectful. And to like that when, first of all, you just lost the race, right? Like you can't when everybody ran. So that's the first thing. Like, why are we even talking about anything that's not racing? And then on top of that, it's like, why would you like something that was so blatantly disrespectful and arguably a creature of white supremacy? Like, why would you do that? So again, track and field is very competitive, especially at the Olympic level. I'm not sure if there's backstory, behind the scenes stuff, whatever the case may be. But what I do know is if you're going to be engaged in this profession, you have to, I think, one, ensure that you have people to guide you in the right direction when it comes to social media, when it comes to publicity, when it comes to all of that stuff, so that you don't even get confused or make somebody think that you are alluding to something unprofessional. And then I think secondarily, and this might just be her being young, I think secondarily, you have to be cognizant of the fact that you have a certain window of time where you're going to be great. And your time and your devotion is going to be in pursuit of whatever the accolade is when you come in at the top of your game. You can't get sidetracked. You can't get disrespectful just because things don't work out your way. You have to focus on the run. This was a peak opportunity for us to see Black women coming together, being supportive of one another, and just moving forward as a culture internationally. And I feel like it was a missed opportunity.
Yes.
And whoever put that tweet up, shame on you, because that's super racist.
Yes. Yeah, totally agree. 1,000%. Like Shannon Sharp likes to say. I totally agree with you, Jesse. And it's rather unfortunate. Whoever put a tweet up, I mean, I hope it will. I'm glad she unliked that tweet. And I had another one. That one I can't substantiate it, so I'm not even going to go there. Someone had written, I was reading an article that said she liked another tweet, but however, that was totally out of line, and that's not what we're about, and that's not what we should strive for. We are better than that. We're better people as a community, and even if you're not part of this community, we are better than that as a human race.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, main thing is we have to be focused on the fact that whatever race we are running in, I'm not just talking about Sha'Carri, but whatever race we're running in, we have a burden put on us that we have to be excellent, right?
Yes.
So if we have a standard of excellence that we are trying to match, then the focus oftentimes has to be on the pursuit of that excellence. What I mean by that is if you're going to talk trash and you play basketball, you better be LeBron James, right? You better be at the top of your game, right? You can't do this, particularly when you coming in last in a race, right? It just looks bitter. It looks like, and again, I think there are a million reasons why you come in last. These women that you raced against just came off the Olympics, and you've been sitting to the side because they banned you from being able to do everything for the 30-day period. So I get it. You haven't been training every day because what's the point of training if you don't go to the Olympics? Yes. So you're getting back in the groove of things. And I think Sha'Carri has a bright future ahead of her, and I think she's going to do well. She's going to do numbers. We already know Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, I mean, she's been awesome, but she's already saying she may not be coming back. You know what I'm saying? This might be it for her. She's passing the torch. What's the other sister from Jamaica that won?
Elaine Thompson.
Yes.
Elaine Thompson.
Yes. Awesome, right? Just the speed that these women can run at.
They might break FloJo's record because they're just five hundredths of a second, less than the last race was 500th of a second less than FloJo's record. So FloJo's record is in big trouble.
Absolutely. And let me tell you what I've always loved about Jamaican track team. Okay, Jamaican track team have a way of winning in a way that isn't just like by the skin of your teeth winning. They win with flair. You know what I'm saying? They win with flair. I remember Usain Bolt with the smile, leaving everybody behind. It's just, it's borderline disrespect. I love it. I remember the first time I saw Usain Bolt in the Olympics. I don't know if it's a world championship or Olympics, but I saw him. He ran like nobody, and these are the fastest people in the world. And he made them look like kindergartners. And then when he gets to the end, he kicks his shoes off and sprays them with the fire extinguisher. It's the flair. Even Sister Thompson, when she won, she was pointing to the clock when she
she broke the Olympic record. Yeah.
I mean, I like that. Like, I like seeing passion. I like seeing people do that. And I think it brings a whole new level of, like, when it comes to people who want to watch. Like, that's what I'm watching to see. I like gracious winners too. I like people who come out like, thank you, everybody was good. I just happen to have a better day. Yeah, okay, that's great. But if you're the fastest person in the world, I want you to own it. Like, I want you to be like me.
Yeah, and sometimes, and this Olympics was not the same. We definitely miss Usain. It wasn't the same without him. He'll win a race and do like 5 push-ups, just say, hey, I'm not even tired,
Right.
And and he was. I mean, as much as he was a showman, he was also really gracious, really friendly with his rivals. You see him take pictures with Justin Gatlin and Tyson Gay, and they'll have conferences together, and it just goes to show the unity we've been talking about. And the last thing I'll say about Allyson Felix, she doesn't come off as a person who's fake, who is phony, and I know as long as I know she's a God-fearing woman. And she's always been very polite and respectful and been gracious to other Olympians. If anything at all, she knows how it is. She knows, she's from experience. She knows what it takes to win at the highest level. So for her to see the potential in someone, I don't think she was faking it by making those comments at all. So. Rather, I mean, she's someone who could be a role model and who could be a coach or, someone who could be an encouragement to the younger generation. But rather, if you throw shade at her, you're not going to learn the valuable lessons it takes to be at the top. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And since you brought up Justin Gatlin, I want to tell my Justin Gatlin story. Right. So I met Justin Gatlin. So funny thing, when I was in law school, there used to be a heavy club district downtown Raleigh, and everybody wanted to go to this place called High Five. It was the place to be on a Friday or Saturday night. So I had people working the door, me and all my people. They know how I used to roll. We came in deep, right? We came in deep. We came in, and when we get in high five, we just see there's a guy standing on the couch with a big old medal around his neck, and he's just dancing. And I'm thinking to myself, I've seen this guy before, but I can't picture who he is. So I walk up to him, and I was like, "Hey, man, I see you somewhere. Where are you from?" I thought maybe he was on a TV show or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I'm Justin Gatlin." I was like, "Yeah, I saw you in the Olympics, whatever." Super cool guy. He's just on the just dancing, man. Yeah, rest in peace to High Five. High Five is no longer with us, but that used to be the spot. So we would see
I know, right?
Justin Gatlin in the club. He would wear all his medals to the club, like all of them. Just
really? That's so funny. Yeah. He won. I think he won gold in 2010, I believe. Yeah, it couldn't be 2000. So 2020, 2016, 2012, 28. I mean 2008. I think it was 2008. So he's been in the game for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he's part of the relay team back when they used to not drop the baton.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he always ran the second lap and did a great job. Absolutely. Yeah, and the last thing I want to talk about is the Tulsa. So before I show it, Jesse, can you give us a history of the Tulsa massacre?
Yes. So one of the things that now is coming to light for the mainstream, but something that Black Americans have known about for a long time, is the Tulsa massacre. If you don't know, Tulsa initially was part of the state of Oklahoma, which was at that time just a territory. It was a new state.
Yes.
When there was a person out of, I think DC, it was a pharmacist out of DC, Mr. Gurley, who went out to Oklahoma and cordoned off land that he wanted to make exclusively for a Black district on the side of Tulsa underneath the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
So he carved it out, called it Greenwood. And everybody who, heard about Greenwood came because you could be a Black dentist in Greenwood. You could be a doctor. You could be a lawyer. And they developed a very, very affluent Black population in this Greenwood district of Tulsa. Also, after the war, a lot of soldiers would come home and they would move to Greenwood to live in an exclusively Black district of the town and be able to, engage. So you people like Ida B. Wells, who was writing stories about lynching, she had her office in Greenwood in Tulsa. So it was like really a big happening town with a lot of things to do. And all of a sudden, what happens is what always happens in American history. People get mad. Specifically, there's a guy who works the elevator, because at the time, if you were Black and you came on the white side of town, you were operating in a service capacity. So on a day where it's supposed to be a holiday, I think it was 4th of July or something like that, there's a guy, I think his name was Dickie Simpson, who was operating the elevator. A white woman comes on the elevator and screams. So nobody knows what happened. The assumption of white people is that this Black elevator operator has tried to rape her. That is the assumption. She never said that. He never said that. But some reason, white people love to run with that narrative. So he gets arrested, right? And he's sitting in the jail in Tulsa. The story goes out, and of course, there's the white side of town, the Black side of town, and you know how this is going to go. The Black side of town is like, look, they got him arrested. The white people coming up, they're going to try to lynch him. The white people go and they say, oh, we got him. He's in custody. The sheriff needs to let him go so we can lynch him, right? And what happens is there's a group of people, a group of white people who come down and start demanding that the sheriff release this guy into the custody of white people for the purpose of a lynching. And their numbers are growing. But unlike most Black American cities where these things have happened, the Black people didn't just stand idly by or try to escape. They said, no, this is our city just as much as anybody else's. So all those World War I veterans that were home with guns and training, they pulled up with all their weapons to the jail and said, look, we're going to help the sheriff keep him in custody because they're not going to get him today. And what happened was the white Oklahomans, the white Tulsans specifically who were there, were shocked, one, at the number of black people who were willing to come out and essentially die for this kid, but also at the number of black people who had guns, right? And were ready to use them if need be. So they immediately said, okay, y'all need to go home. And the story goes that one of the white people tried to snatch a gun from one of the black people with guns. The gun goes off, right? And when the gun goes off, everybody there assumes there's a fight. So everybody starts shooting, like everything's going down. The black people hold their own. The white Oklahomans were like, we can't stand up against this force. So they leave, but they go and they get people from neighboring cities and they get all their friends, whatever the telegram methods were. And folks start coming in. White people are coming in by train to Tulsa, Oklahoma, for the purpose of organizing a riot to destroy not just the area where the fight happened, but all of the Black Greenwood district. And sure enough, by the next day, they're going through, they've commissioned the fire department to set places on fire. They're going through shooting people they see, shooting black people they see. Black folks are trying to fight back, dying in battle. Some of them are trying to escape and hop on cars and drive out of there as fast as they can. And then the National Guard gets activated and they actually drop bombs on Greenwood District. So Greenwood District gets leveled. Black people are either killed outright or captured and killed later or captured and just imprisoned, right? And then there's so many bodies that there's no place, there's no like professional funeral home to cultivate this. So they just start digging trenches and dumping black bodies in the trenches. Nobody cares who it is. Nobody cares the identity. They just dump them. By the time it's all gone, Greenwood District has been destroyed. It's been leveled and razed. It's destroyed. And there are very few survivors. The people who survived, largely what we're finding out, were kids at the time of all of this madness. Yes. So very few survivors who were able to get out. And then the city of Tulsa does a PR campaign to eliminate the whole story altogether so people don't know that this happened. So you have kids who essentially are telling people in the new places where they live what happened in Tulsa. And when you go to do research or find newspaper articles, you don't find it, right? Because they've cleaned it up and made it seem like it never happened. And now we've got studies that have been commissioned really since the 90s of people going back and they're finding the bodies of, I guess the shallow graves of the black people who had died. They're finding that a lot of the stuff that these kid survivors have said was true. And last year, the culmination was that President Biden, well, this year actually, President Biden actually commissioned it. So now he says it's true. We accept understanding of it. And we're going to try to do something about bringing awareness to the populace. One of the people who was pivotal in that was Sister Fletcher, who actually gave a speech when President Biden was doing this commemoration. And we happen to know now that Sister Fletcher has been able to be fortunate enough to get a trip to the motherland, to Ghana. And I think we have some footage of her experience there.
Let me share that with you. Can you see and hear?
I can see. We can't hear.
Oh, you can hear. Okay, hold on. Let me share sound. How do I do that? 1 second. Can you hear?
Looks like it's not playing right now.
Can you hear now? No?
No, I don't hear anything, and it's still not playing.
Oh, it's still not playing? Oh.
Mm-mm.
Okay, let me see what. Okay. Okay, let me stop this and then I'll share
Okay.
again.
Well, for those of you all who are watching, you may recognize the face of the person whose video we're using. That's Sister I Prosper, who was a guest on our show, a good friend of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, no?
I don't hear it, but I do see it.
Oh, man. Okay, let me come back and see. Check the settings. Okay, settings. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll just show the. I can't figure it out, but we'll just show the. Let me stop and then share again. We'll just show the video.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I saw something. Bear with us, audience. Okay.
Episode of your guide on Ghana.
Can you hear now?
I just wanted to
Yes.
share
Okay.
with you some history that's going to be made here in Ghana this week. Two survivors of the Tulsa massacre that happened in 1921. For those of you who don't know what it is, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the U.S., there was a thriving Black community, and it was burned to the ground by racists who did not like to see the prosperity of Black people. And so it's been 100 years since that happened. It was commemorated, and they had a ceremony in Tulsa, and Miss Viola Fletcher, known as Mother Fletcher, is going to be coming with her brother, who's known as Uncle Red. He's 100 years old. She's 107. And their dream is to travel to Africa before they leave this earth. So they are doing that this week. So it's going to be very exciting to see. And I just wanted to share this clip with you. The Diaspora African Forum is responsible for helping to connect to get them here in Ghana this week. So here's the clip of Mother Viola sharing her her wish to come to Africa and how excited she is about coming. So check it out.
My goodness, we are thrilled to be going on the journey of a lifetime. We're all excited about this coming home to Africa, a dream that I have had now becomes a reality. I want to thank Michael and Eric Thompson of our Black Truth and their team for their arranging this visit for myself and my brother Red and our family.
When Mother Fletcher was asked about her upcoming trip to Ghana, she replied enthusiastically,
"It means the world to me, and I want to see it for myself." I also want to thank Dr. Erica Bennett for hosting our family in Ghana. And I especially want to thank the President of Ghana, the people of Ghana, for welcoming us home with open hearts to the amazing land of gold.
Yeah, so there it is. So that's Mother Fletcher's trip to Ghana, and they were actually there on they're actually there now, and they're different. I'll just share some of the videos. There's several videos up now of their trip to Ghana. You can go on YouTube and check it out. Let's see.
And make sure y'all follow Ivy Prosper if you haven't been doing so already. She posts great content.
Yes.
So definitely check her out.
So this is it. This is a full video. Different YouTube channels captured it. Mother Fletcher's to Ghana. And Ivy also has it. Tulsa Massacre Survives Arrival in Ghana. And, so there's several videos up about that. So definitely go on Sister Ivy's channel and check it out. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. So as we're winding down, any comments, questions, and then if you know anyone who wants to get on the show, please let us know. Don't worry, we don't bite. We're not. We actually want you to come on to be celebrated and not to embarrass you or anything. This is not hardball or any of the talk shows where they try to get their what do you call their guests to trip and they're like, oh, we got you. No, that's not what we're about. We're about celebrating our greatness because we know we're from greatness. We're born into greatness and we are great people. So that's all. That's what we're about. We're about bridging the gaps around Black people everywhere in the world, all the way from southern, all the way from Chile, all the way north to the northern tip of Ghana, all the way east to Asia, all the way south to the motherland of Africa. All right.
Absolutely. So just to reiterate, for those of you, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us. We're on Instagram at The Pan Africana Show. You can also follow us on Facebook, Pan Africana presented by Afriscope. And if you are interested in being on the show, shoot us a message. As my colleague says, we don't bite. We love to celebrate. If you're on TikTok, I probably reached out to you anyway. So like, go ahead and come on the show. Likewise, we are going to be experiencing a couple changes in formatting coming up. Yeah. So you might want to stay tuned because there may be somebody that who might be joining us on a more frequent basis to be another person, a third co-host helping us out. So anyways, I don't want to let the cat out the bag, but y'all definitely follow and let us know. Definitely keep in touch, and we love your comments and hearing what you have to say. Lastly, just a point about Tulsa. So what I hope you all realize and appreciate is Tulsa at its inception was an opportunity made by Black people for Black unification and Black development. Somebody in the 1920s thought enough to say, you know what, Black people can create a utopia of their own and be self-functioning without the need for any interaction with the white community around it. And this is during a period of time that we're dealing with great migration and rampant white supremacist violence all throughout the South and the West. And all of a sudden you have this idea. It was not the only idea. There were tons of Black cities of Black people who tried to put a shovel in the ground and build their own community. But if you ever get a chance to read the books, you'll realize most of those didn't work out well, and it wasn't because of Black people, right? Yes. So I always like to emphasize to anybody who's willing to listen, particularly Black people, that our ancestors have tried to do amazing things under some very treacherous circumstances. They have tried to be self-sufficient. They have tried to galvanize, to put together a trip to bring us all back to Africa. And the government got involved and shut that down quick too. Yes. They have tried to do Pan-African councils in the past. They have tried to do rebellions in the past. They've tried to do everything that you could possibly think of. And you have to ask yourself, why did the ancestors feel that that was so important? And the reason is because you're looking at it in the mirror. They did it because they felt like it was important for you. They wanted you to be protected. They wanted you to be nurtured and your talents to be cultivated in a place where you could be appreciated and not just tolerated. So, it's important, if you are listening to this message, make sure that you are focused on your excellence, your journey to excellence. Make sure that you bring other Black people along with you and teach them what they need to know so that they can be just as good. Make sure you travel, right? We want to make sure we open up doorways of communication so you can travel, particularly traveling to continental Africa. Meet people. Don't just listen to what the TV is telling you, like actually meet people. Travel to the West Indies. Don't just go to the vacation spots, right?
Yes,
like
yes.
actually be part of the community, meet people. So we want you to do all these things and feel comfortable doing it, because I can tell you your white counterparts are going to Italy and England and France. It's happening, right?
Yes.
So there's no point in you just staying locked into your block when there's so much beautiful Black world for us to see and experience. It was built by our ancestors for us. So you should take advantage of the opportunity to see. And likewise, continue watching our program. Please tell a friend about our programs. Spread the love, spread the message. We love to see our family on here getting bigger. And just like, Sister Ivy Prosper, we love to see our family doing big things. So
yes,
let us celebrate you. Come on the show. But definitely make sure that you keep in touch with us.
That's right. That's right. I echo everything, and I agree with wholeheartedly with my partner, Jesse. And you need to know that we're here for you. We're here to celebrate our greatness. And Michael and everyone who's come on, Ivy Prosper, Juanita, all the Lisette, and our Pan African, our how did they even say it? The Panamanian family who's joined us. We appreciate every one of you.
Yes.
And without you, Roxy, Luciana, all our Brazilian or Brazil Israelis, we appreciate you and everyone else. And just know that you are great, and there's greatness within you. So from all of us here at Pan Africana, have a good weekend. Enjoy your week, and go out and do the best. Okay, take care. Bye.